We grew up in a time when we didn't talk much about what's going on in the family. And that's why we got too many problems going on, because we don't know who we are. We think we're nobody when you have authors, you got speakers, you got preachers, you got teachers, you got doctors, you got lawyers, you got all that stuff in the family here. And we go around and think, well, I don't have anything to speak, who am I? And I know you feel it, because I felt that way when I was a kid. Mom would say, well, it don't give you a power. Yeah, well, we broke, we had the money. Well, it isn't all about money all the time. It's about other things. And I'm very proud to be part of this family. The Jones family, the Powell family, the Hampton family, and a few more, I guess. But coming out of this, I just pray for that we would take advantage of this. We asked Ted to come in and sort of document this thing from this time, so we can take a look at what we have and hopefully next time build on that. So with that, Ted, are you about ready?
I'm already ready.
You got it?
What should I fear, discouraged? What should the shadow come? What should my heart feel lonely and long for heaven and home? For Jesus is my portion, a constant friend is He. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. For His eye is on the sparrow. For His eye is on the sparrow. For His eye is on the sparrow. And I know He watches me. He watches me. He watches me.
Yeah, can you sit back up from Marvin Gaye?
No, it was for Gail Saunders. She was a group that was upcoming. She was coming out, Mom's best friend, Gail. And she's been singing in the limelight for a while. She was like, she's gonna be another John Cross. But I don't know whatever became of her. But I was doing backup behind her for years. Yeah. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. For those that I haven't spoken to today, hello, everybody. Glad to have you all here, centered here in Columbus, GA, the place where everything is happening today. But with that being said, the planning of this event, it is very sentimental in that we named it the Gathering at first. And that was to gather together. And it ended up being a reunion. So a reunion is not necessarily something that hundreds of thousands of people all the time. When there's two or more, that is a reunion. And with that being said, I'd like to thank my cousin Jimmy for spearheading it in the first place and saying that our parents and our elder cousin need to come together to help us to know who we are. You know, and they say that I'm long-winded, or I can talk, and I can.
Yep.
So with that being said, I have this little short story about our grandfather, John Jones. When we first came back from France, I think it was in 1966, and I was so excited about having another grandfather. And my grandfather didn't have any legs. So I guess I had never experienced that. But then when I saw his legs standing in the corner, and that's what, as a child at 6 years old, I was kind of baffled. But far as what I remember of him, he was very stern and firm, but he was sweet. He had his way up with spirits, but he was really a wonderful man. And the thing that I didn't think was so wonderful at the time was, and this involves talking, as my brother is 4 years older than me, that's Andre. And Andre was telling me to do something. And our parents they were somewhere in DC doing what they were doing, shopping or something. And I told Andre, I said, you don't tell me what to do. Andre says, girl, go over there and sit down. You don't tell me my mom and dad are not here. And my grandfather told me, Lisa, or Olivia, your brother is your elder, and you always respect your elder. And I'm thinking, he's a kid, and so am I. But that carries volumes. And with me, for everything in here that is above my age and below my age, I still have respect. And that really, was a little thing that stayed in my mind since I've been a child. So, but with that being said, well, all you young people are beautiful second cousins, and I am so thrilled to have really laid eyes on you again, because the last time I saw you, you were that little kid that you don't tell me what to do. But now I'm very proud to know, as was already said, that we have upcoming real heroes in the family. And you don't have to go far to see a hero. Starting with my father, Joe Jones, my uncle, James Powell, the Reverend James Powell, his wife, my aunt Janelle, my cousin Kay Hawkins, my cousin Kenny and his wife, Pat. So those are all my elders. Thank you for directing us and being here for us.
Yeah, I had just a little bit to it. He was old at the time. But John, he had his way. A lot of people didn't understand it. But he was really a nice guy. He was a good guy, and he would do anything he could for you. He did. And I'm sure if he could be among the gathering today, you would understand what I was trying to say about him. I have nothing but, not praise, but good things to say. He had two lovely sisters, and Liza and Maple. They were two of the people that really were with him. So he thought a lot of everyone, and he had love in his way for everyone. It's just that some of us didn't understand. He was a good guy. He loved you all just like I do.
Because you probably, out of everyone here, has the most memories of our great-grandmother, Mama Annie.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, she too was a real lovely person, and she was a very understanding type of person, and she treated everybody real nice. You would have thought she was your mother. She tried to teach, talk to my dad and things of that sort, but unfortunately, how kids get when they get older. But she did love everybody, she did. And she was crazy about the whole family. And then she took real good care of us after my mother passed. So after she passed, we came to Washington to John and my dad. It was up there. But she would have done anything too for you. She was a real sweet person. She really was. You could have met her, you would agree with that.
Would that be Louise?
That was-
The mother's name?
Louise Jones.
But he was talking about,
I was talking about my aunt.
Oh,
his-
my
yeah, his
bad.
mother.
I apologize.
Yeah, my dad's mother.
I just heard when you joined in DC.
Well, what I learned talking to you last night was to me, what you were telling me was her emphasis on family. Because when Uncle Joe told, I was peppering him. He got a good memory. He was going back to the 30s, and I was peppering. Yeah, I was peppering with questions. And one of the things that struck me, what he was telling was that when his mother passed, she had a stroke. They moved to Washington in 47,
Yes.
and in 51 she passed. And for the first, this is where the whole family comes in. Uncle Joe was telling me that his father obviously was going through something. And so, all the things I heard about him, and when I was sitting there listening, he going over, moving from his roots, because he was born in, you said 1903. So when he wasn't, what I call a young man when he relocated to Washington, he was in his 40s. And then 3 years later, his wife passes away. And so for a while there, he had to try to deal with that. And he sent Uncle Joe and my mother to Pittsburgh for a couple of weeks to stay with right. And then when you came back home, so his sisters helped him out during that time to take care of his children while he dealt with this. And then his mother moved up from North Carolina to stay with the family. So it gave me a new appreciation for, during his time of need, both his sisters in Pittsburgh and his mother, they stepped up to the plate and came up and supported him. And she stayed there until she passed away herself.
Things were tough then. In World War II, we were segregated. All the way up into D.C. was segregated at one time. When we went there, it was segregated. But in '54, they broke all that up there. But it's slowly dying here too. But it was really bad. But you think it was bad now? You should try to. No refrigeration, no electricity, salted meat, killing them all, bringing chicken necks in order to survive. The kids stayed home and managed to stay while the old people went to the field. It sounds like it may have been a long time ago. It ain't been that long. You can tell now it ain't been that long. Because some of the people are still alive and they're still carrying on those things, even though it's beyond the law. But they still do it. And they will probably do it less now. But we all made it. That just showed you not only the Jones family, but all of the families would consolidate together. They traded. When you didn't have this, you let me have your food stamp. The government issued your food stamp. Give you flour and stuff with S's marks on the package. If you used your stamp, good. If you didn't, you traded with somebody for something you was short. So it looked like there was more love among the people at that time. But now, they take what you got and come back and get for the left. Not all people. I'm just talking about the life. It was kind of tough. When you didn't have all these fancy clothes and things you have now, you had what the people made for you. Take old flour sacks, bleach them, make t-shirts. Yes. The shoes got holes in them, you took the shoes instead of throwing them away, cut the tongues out like the people told you, so you could put them in the bottom of the other shoe. They get you a pair of shoes that's for Sunday. Or you better not mess that up, you didn't. And so patches on your clothes. Now look at the clothes.
Yeah.
So for me, sometimes you go in the store and you marvel at just what you see. Because it wasn't like that. But we were on one side of the railroad track. They were on the other side of the railroad track. That's the way they kept it. But now, the railroad track gone.
But even into death, as you were telling me that,
They buried people back over here.
because our great grandmother's buried in,
Going to the road was off, bro. in Church Cemetery. Wake Forest is a lovely place now, but you should have seen Wake Forest. You never would have believed it. There's a fence around the cemetery. You can go in that part. I don't want to go to heaven. I don't want to work that out up there.
Yeah, right.
But the Lord took care of it.
Could you tell us a little bit more about Nancy?
But then Nancy, I know she was his sister. My father's sister, so was like me. But she was an older lady. And I didn't know too terribly much, but my dad didn't have no teachers. I knew he was what they call a red cap. One of these people that stepped on off the train, put the blue students down for the other ladies, helped them in the train, and all that kind of stuff. But I didn't know her too very much, because he wouldn't talk, or he didn't tell us. But she was a lovely person.
Yes.
A sweet person. So was they make. They would do anything they could for her. They lived in Pittsburgh. After my mother died, we went up there for 2 or 3 weeks. It was just my sister and myself. And she did a great job in helping with the sister.
So Nicey was the oldest,
I think she was my his older
Yes,
sister.
yes.
and then John, and then Nathan.
Mabel.
Okay.
Now, they had different,
Like Nicey and Mabel had different fathers, but the same mom. You see, that's also high, part of it. But they all like half brother and sister. That's my understanding. Is that your understanding?
Overall, it was a good life.
Oh, yes, they did. Wonderful people. Wonderful.
The people made me feel more better than some of the people. They don't have time now to fool with the kids and things like those people did. But things have changed.
Thank you, Uncle Joe. Can you tell us a little bit about, because I've learned so, Nicey was the oldest, and Otis was her adopted son.
That's right. Nicey adopted him.
Adopted him.
He was a little boy. He was on the
That's
team
right.
when I was
That's right.
down there, too.
he grew up to be the first black tax assessor in the United States.
Yes, he did. Yes, he was.
Uncle Percy, he was another nice.
Of course, he was his father, but Otis was the tax assessor.
Definitely
I
nice
worked
as
with
well.
him, specialist. As Cousin Joe, first of all, giving honor to God. Giving honor to God for this moment, for all of you, our relationship together as family. Thank you, Lord. And Joe and Janelle, James, giving honor to you as well. Heads of our family. I did want to tell you that Joe mentioned how hard times were in those days. On Otis, which is one of your cousins, Nicey